Peace, brothers and sisters, peace. Hello, guys. How's it? It's been a while. Yo, it's been a while. We haven't spoken in a while. Hope you guys have been keeping well. It's winter in South Africa. It's winter in the Southern Hemisphere. It's winter, man. So it's very cold, and a lot has been going on in the country. We've had snow. We've had earthquake in Johannesburg. There was an explosion recently, so I know a lot has been going on. So I wanted to say hi. Hoping that you guys have been keeping well, healthy, and in tune with yourselves. Very important to take care of one's health, one's overall well-being, be it financial health, be it physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. And this is a subject that we haven't really delved into, but spiritual well-being is at the core. It's the crux. It's the fulcrum of human existence. That is why for as long as humans have been around, they have really centralized and prioritized, spiritual, the spiritual well-being of their societies. If you study ancient cultures, you realize that the most elite groups, the most influential groups of people, the most powerful groups of people were spiritual slash religious figures, be it shamans, be it diviners, be it priests, be it prophets, necromancers, witches, even traditional doctors, traditional healers. These groups were usually very influential and powerful and elite in ancient cultures. You can go as far as ancient Bantu kingdoms, ancient Hebrew cultures, ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt, ancient American cultures, indigenous peoples of the Americas, of Australasia, Eurasia, sorry, and the Australian continents and the islands. You can go further back as you want. You realize that spirituality has been at the center of the existence of those cultures. And there's a reason why, because we don't exist in a one dimensional reality. We exist within a context of other things that exist with us, other entities, other realities. And I think it has been a human pursuit to master that art and, you know, create long lasting engagements with that or with those realities. So spiritual well-being is very important. If you don't really take care of your spiritual well-being, someone's gonna do that for you. Someone's gonna come in and do that for you. So, like I said, if you don't have a plan for your life, someone already has a plan for you, and you'll find yourself in very unpleasant and undesirable positions. So it's always best to just take care of your spiritual wealth, just like you should take care of your financial wealth, well-being, and your physical well-being, your well-being generally. Guys, I think we will be doing a lot of work now. I know it's winter, so I tend to keep to myself when it's cold. But I think it's time now that we do a bit more work, much broader approach. I have a lot of passions, and I'm just gonna delve into those. One of my passions is the love for history. Facts, history, factual history. I love history. I love different cultures, and it's important to study those histories. But more than just studying them, to draw connections and insights from those histories. I think that's even more, for me, that's even more insightful and compelling when you draw these insights and understanding these influences from these cultures. It's very, 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 very interesting to delve into. More than that, I love linguistics, I love etymology, and we'll be doing a lot of that, understanding languages and how languages that seem completely um, unrelated are actually, most of the time have more in common than people realize. You may be shocked to see the link between Nguni languages or Sutu languages and Latin, you know. You may be shocked to see the connection between Germanic languages and Bantu dialects. And these are things that I've studied for years now. I know what I'm talking about. It will be very shocking to see how Hebrew is basically a Bantu language, or even a lot of Arabic words that you can find in Bantu dialects. A lot of Middle Eastern, West Asian cultural similarities with African and indigenous American cultures. And I think these are things we should study because we are freeing ourselves from this constructed reality. Uh, you just have to tick this box. If you tick this box, you're not that box and all that. We want to get out of that, nonentity of constructionism. But beyond, we're taking into our hands the narrative, it's very important. So we will be delving into ancient cultures, languages, linguistics, etymology, and the names of places. It's very, very interesting for me. I always ask myself questions. You find a name like Senton, or a name like Wellington, or a name like, Paul, Worcester, name like Cape Town. People never really ask themselves, what is Cape Town? What is a cape? Why is it called a cape? And it's important to study these and, not to obsess over this, but to understand why something is a cape. Is it a colonial name? Is it really colonial? Do we have an indigenous version of this name? So these are the things that we'll be looking into. Names such as Johannesburg, Johannesburg, or what people call Johannesburg. What is the etymological origin of the name? Bree Street. Is there a link between Burg and Bree? Is there a link? There's words like Edinburgh, Johannesburg, Bree. Are they all connected? Do they come from the same source? And what does it mean? And can we translate these words into our native languages? It's very, very, very important to delve into these interesting takes on why things are. I remember this one time in Cape Town, I stayed in a place called Schottekloof. And then I wanted to look into the origin of the name, Schottekloof. Why is it Schottekloof? I realized that Scotche means Scotch, or no, Scottish, or Scots, like the people of Scotland. And kloof is literally a cleft in between, like a kind of valley in between mountains. So it's a cleft, something that's, broken in half, or with a break in between. That's a cleft. So it's the Scots cleft. And when I looked at the location of the place, there's Table Mountain this side, then there's Lion's Head on the other side, and there's a cleft, a kind of valley in between. And the Scots lived in that area. So it was a cleft where the Scots lived, Schottekloof. I realized, wow, actually, it makes sense. I understand. And then I looked at another suburb in the same region, Oranjezicht, Oranjezicht. And I was like, what is Oranjezicht now? Oranje means orange. And Zicht, I understand Zicht. It's the Dutch version of the word sight. Or in Afrikaans, they would say sig. So orange sight, orange view. Didn't make any sense because that place is not orange and you don't see anything orange. And there are no oranges. There are no orange farms in Cape Town, like in the city center. So I looked into it. I realized, wow, actually, it's much more interesting than I thought. So in Cape Town, there's a monument called the Castle of Good Hope, which was built by the Dutch in the 1600s. The castle has 5 bastions. Bastions are like these defensive projections, wall projections. So there's 5 of them. It's shaped like a kind of star. So each of those bastions now in the castle have a name, and those names actually belonged to one Dutch king. I think it's King William or Prince Willem, Prince William. So one of his names was the Prince of Orange, or Prince of Oranje. Oranje is a region in France that used to be run by the Dutch back in the day because, a lot of European, especially Western European royalties, they are basically cousins. So this Prince of Oranje was a Dutch royalty. So they named these 5 bastions of the Cape of Good Hope in the 1600s in honor of this Dutch royalty. And therefore, each of those 5 names belonged to the Dutch prince or king. Hence the name Oranje in one of the bastions of the castle. So now, how did it get to be the name of the suburb? Because the suburb, when you look from that suburb, it's on the slopes of Table Mountain. When you look at the castle, the most visible bastion out of those 5 bastions of the castle is the bastion that was named Oranje. Hence, the bastion is in sight The name of the bastion is Oranje. Hence, from that suburb, it's called the Oranje side, Oranjezicht. Because from that position, from that suburb, especially in a particular farm in that suburb, back in the day, you could see clearly the bastion called Oranje. Hence, you could have clear view of Oranje, Oranjezicht. And this is also where place names like Orania come from. Obviously, it's next to the Orange River. The Orange River is named after that royal title of the Prince of Oranje. It's almost like the Prince of Wales, King Charles. He used to be called the Prince of Wales, you see. So this is interesting, even to me. I didn't know that Oranjezak had an interesting history like that. And then the more you dig into it, you look at places like Salt River in Cape Town. Literally, there's a river called Salt River. Why? Because it is salty. Even crazy though, there's many other rivers in Cape Town. And from those rivers, a lot of suburbs got their names. You've got Deep River, and there's literally a deep river running through the suburb. You have Elsa's River, Kales River, Eerste Rivier, or the First River, Sout River, which is the same as Salt River, different regions though. And then I started to connect, well, wow, this is interesting, man. This is very interesting. So what does Sandton mean? I realized, oh, it's no Sandton actually, it's sand. And it comes from, it's two words, sand down and Bryanston. You see, sand down and Bryanston. So we'll be looking into stuff like that. But obviously, these are different, if I could say, genres. So maybe there's going to be a section for, etymologies, place names, and why things are named the way they're named. And then we'll also look at, the history of, religion, the history of spiritual systems, and how it originated most of the time in ancient cultures, a lot of which come from Africa. We'll look at secret societies, African secret societies. A lot of people see boys going to initiation schools, girls going to initiation schools. They don't even know what they're being initiated into. It's secret societies, man. And I will show you how secret societies have always been part of African cultures. And it's very important for secret societies to exist to ensure continuity from generation to generation. So all I'm saying is that it's going to be a very interesting journey, and I'm glad that you guys are here. Join me now in the next videos that I'll be uploading. They're going to be interesting. We'll continue on political commentary. We'll continue on debating very, very serious issues. But there's more to life than that, isn't it? Peace.